We've got Stacey tonight, and we are talking about preparing for Christmas because it is 3 months to go today. So there's lots going on. Right, here we go. Let me see.
Hey,
Here we go.
it's worked.
There's no
There we
warning.
go.
I've never done it this way around, so it's so funny. It makes you really
It
nervous. Like, I'm never
really does,
worried.
doesn't it? You feel you have to feel that first few minutes, and it's just like, oh, what do I say?
Yeah. Oh, I'm loving everyone waving. That's really cute. Thank you for bearing with
Yes,
technical
absolutely.
difficulties. Oh, that's really
Technology,
good.
hey?
Yeah, for sure. We've got loads of people here. Let's give you some shout outs. We've got Glistening Glow, Wax, Chocolatier. Amazing names as well. I love seeing that when everyone pops up.
Glisten and glow is really lovely.
Yeah, really cool.
Mm.
We've got a soap brand by the looks of it that's joined as well. Lovely, awesome. Right, I'll try and make sure I'm relating some things to soap then, but I might hand that one over to you, Stacey. Okay, so all the technical difficulties aside, let's do some introductions that are really calm. My name's Abby. I'm from Make Sense Candles. I started my small business back in 2020, and pretty soon after starting, I started working quite closely with Cosy Owl. I don't work directly for Cosy Owl, so kind of they tend to challenge me to do different things, come up with different ideas, experiment.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Put me through my paces to kind of give my kind of feedback on different products and different processes to help you with your journeys as well. It's really helpful. I think, Stacey, you've already mentioned this in the comments, but just to refresh, if people can drop in like where they are in their candle or soap or wax melt making journey, that would be really cool, because then we can always tailor things around you and your comments this evening. But we are talking about Christmas. Stacey, do you want to give another little refreshed intro?
Yeah, I'll try. I feel I've done it 3 times.
Yes.
I'm Stacey. I work in the sales team at Cosy Owl. So predominantly any sales like questions or technical questions do come via myself and my colleague Lindsay mainly. And so yeah, we started, I would say, about 6 weeks ago, getting our first lot of Christmas questions. So we felt like today, with it being exactly 3 months to Christmas, perfect time to pull it out the bag. Not too early, but not too late.
I feel like you're allowed to say it now. Before it was like something you just couldn't say.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice doing it live on a Monday, actually, because we never do this, and it's nice to start the week and and then help people like plan their weeks. So I've just come off the back of a weekend where I have been shooting. I make it sound really professional. I've been taking pictures outside. That's what when I say shooting.
At first, when you said shooting, I'm like, oh my word, what's that got to do with candles?
Eco-friendly brand over here. So that I've been taking pictures of Halloween-inspired things. So I'm kind of at that point, but now I'm starting to shift into thinking about Christmas. So outside of making candles, for anyone else who's wondering, I'm also a marketing manager, so I'm sort of thinking about Christmas and marketing through another lens as well. And insights I've had on that side of things so that people start to think about Christmas from a sort of buying perspective 1st of November. So you'll get your early birds now, and you can see in some of the shops there are some things out there for sure. But the big push, the Christmas adverts come in as soon as Halloween's done, basically. So if you can use the time now to prepare, it's, you know, really brilliant to do that. We'll keep an eye on some of the comments popping up. I'm hoping we'll cover some of the things, but if we don't, we'll loop back to them at the end.
Yeah, we've got some comments about Sweden. I'm not sure if they're looking for someone to deliver to Sweden or want to buy in Sweden. Not too sure. Always drop Cosy Owl an email. We do deliver into the EU. Some locations we're not able to, some are completely fine. So do drop us an email and we'll see if we can help. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I sent a panicked email this morning to Cosy Owl because I basically didn't follow step 1 of tonight's live, which is planning and stock checks. I had some orders coming over the weekend that just came in quite late last night, so that it was, a shame because I had a nice quiet weekend. Anyway, I'm not going to complain about orders, it's all good. But my first tip, which is quite, it's made me realise today how important it is look at where you are right now and plan. So even if you think you've got everything you need for Christmas, just have a check of everything in terms of packaging, any cards you pop inside, care cards, that kind of thing, tape, any kind of basics, because I'm sure you'll testify, Stacey, it gets very busy if you're ordering from suppliers. Stock can fly out at different points and then suddenly you might be stuck and have delivery windows that could cause a bit of a problem. I would also look not only at inventory but the state of play of your channels and wherever you do your marketing currently. So have a look now while you've got this downtime at what kind of posts are performing well, what blogs on your website are doing well, what's not doing so well, and see if there's any gaps that you can fill, basically. So I started looking at the different search terms that people use on Google to find my website. And I've noticed that if I tweak a few things, I could actually come up a bit higher on Google for things like extra large candles or my own brand name or mistakes around that. So those are the sort of things that I'm tweaking at the moment. So basically life admin with the stock and marketing admin. So having a look at your audience, because you want to create more people like your current audience, basically. Is there anything that you guys do at Cosy Owl? Obviously you are kind of ahead even of me and us in terms, because you're thinking about supplying the suppliers. No, you guys are.
So I mean, we don't in the office don't really have too much to deal with the advertising and the marketing side of things. That's done sort of above us. The directors are very hands-on with all of that sort of thing. That's predominantly their domain, if you like. But certainly I know we've already done sort of the lovely Hayley's already done all of our Christmas campaigns, images, the making, the videos, the YouTube videos, the blogs. She's pretty much nailed down and done all of them, so we've got them ready in advance, because sometimes the best plan of attack is, I say attack, but it's gone back to shooting now. The best plan is forward planning. So when you've got the quieter time like we do in the summer, because there is a lull within the industry, summertime predominantly, it's using that quieter time to get all of that video footage, the videos, the pictures and what have you. So you've got it there on the back burner, just ready to go and to fire out. I know they say to trend sometimes you should be posting 3+ times a day, but that's a lot. But he's also keeping an eye out and doing things off the cuff, like the video Hayley put up the other day with regards to the ghosts on the outside of the jar, well, on the inside, but on the outside of the candle. That was just a random video we saw trending on TikTok, so sent it across to her, and within 3 days, poof, she's got a video. So it's just keeping an eye out what's going on around you within the industry, but also doing your own thing at the same time, and just trying to plan as best you can.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, because if people can prep their sort of key things they want to go out, so decide at this point whether you want to do Black Friday or not, whether you want to do an end of summer sale, decide on your key things, and then those things will be true to who you are. And then if things come up, like another equivalent of Barbie movie, that feels like a bit of a stretch for your brand maybe, but you can still jump on a trend and react, because it's not forming the backbone of all of your content. So yeah, I think that's really, really cool. When you're doing all this admin, the stuff that we always mention on this live, which is your favorite topic, because I always make you talk about health and safety, is go back, refresh on the recipes, the IFRA changes, anything like that, because you may have Christmas scents from last year that you haven't used since, and you actually need to go and think, oh, can I actually still use this in diffusers or other kinds of products? So do double check, look at your batch numbers, that kind of thing. Is there anything else safety-wise that I'm missing there?
In terms of Christmas, it's just checking your percentages and that you've got the relevant up-to-date document. But also it's knowing that, okay, I brought this Christmas spice fragrance oil a year and a half ago. Yes, it's still okay to use because it doesn't have a shelf life, but what document is relevant to that? Is it the document on the website, or is it an old document? It's likely going to be an old document if it's that sort of age. So just drop us an email, say with your order number, when you purchased it, we'll be able to work out what document's relevant to the fragrance you've got and when it was purchased.
That's really useful. Yeah, really good. Because some of this work, like when we talk about things on the live, some of the work's already been done for you. So some of the things we'll talk about tonight are on guides on the Cosy Owl website. Obviously, if you're struggling to maybe test a new fragrance, the team have probably been asked this question by multiple people and have it ready off the cuff to like give you a little
Definitely
cheat sheet almost. So take advantage of your community, basically, your candle community. Okay, Christmas collections. So testing brings me on to that really. So I tend to go for a smaller, more manageable collection heading up to Christmas. Obviously, people always know that they can, or should know through your marketing, that they can reach out to you if you offer custom scents or any kind of changes. Even if you don't, people will just ask if that's what they're after. So I tend to go something smaller just so I can budget for buying supplies, and also just manage the variation, because it might not be beneficial for you to make up lots of stock due to like the size of your home or space that you've got. Many people who are candle makers or small business owners are like one-man bands, basically. So make something that's a smaller collection, and you don't have to worry about reinventing the wheel every time. So you might want to maybe launch one new limited edition fragrance and test it out before you launch it, but you might want to rename some of the existing fragrances you have and give them a Christmas twist.
That's a good idea.
So we've talked a lot about CLPs before, so I think the confusion is that you have to stick to the name that Cosy Owl gives a fragrance, but you don't have to.
So, because I'm going to praise my favourite fragrance again, but Plum and Mulberry, it's spot on perfect for Christmas, but it's also perfect for spring. So that's an ideal fragrance that you can sort of sell all year round, but just change the name of it come Christmas. And then again, come spring, obviously, Yeah.
So you would have the same ingredient or same kind of warnings and everything on your CLP, but you would just change the title, and then you change the label basically on the front. So you're just getting the extra shelf life out of that fragrance, which is really good as a sort of money saving tip for makers. That brings me on to just stocking up. So we've talked about inventory, you might have gaps. So then you might want to take this time to get ahead of everyone else and start stocking up, because, well, I've already heard that everyone else is ahead of me already. I love being told this on lives and comments and then chatting to you guys about like trends and customers. So I'm already behind, but there we go. It's fine. Yes, take the time to stock up now. Is there anything stock update wise that you want to tell me?
So any of the fragrances out of stock at the moment are pretty much on order, hopefully arriving towards the end of this month to into next month. Obviously, you're going to find over the next couple of months your Christmas spice, your apple cinnamon, your hot apple pie, pumpkin spice, mulled wine. They are going to be fragrances that come into stock and virtually go straight back out of stock. No matter the volumes we order, we still just it just flies. So there's definitely put yourself down if it's out of stock at the moment on the waiting list. So just put your email address in and it'll email you as soon as it comes back into stock. So definitely do that. But also, if you know you're going to need a lot of it pre-Christmas, order a larger quantity to hopefully have enough that you're fulfilling your orders up till Christmas. And even if you're left over with some, it's still going to be fine to use next year.
Just what you say on joining a wait list, you can also, as small businesses, offer that to your customers. So it can be quite risky launching something new, or even just launching Christmas when this year has been a bit quiet compared to COVID, and obviously everyone being at home all the time, browsing the internet, etc., making their homes all cozy. This year might be quite different, and you don't know. So what I'm personally going to do is launch a pre-order and wait list for various products, so that anything risky I can get an idea of posting things out. Things like advent calendars as well, because they take a long time to make, like 24 different or 12 different wax melt varieties. I'm just making it clear with customers that I'll be doing it by this date, posting on this date, because not only do we want to plan, but our customers want to plan too. Customers want to plan their gifts, so you want to start tailoring your promotion around showing that your process is really easy. So I'm just revealing all my secrets right now. Here's my plan. My plan is to explain to people what the different scent notes mean in really basic terms, and how they can then buy online with confidence, knowing that they will most likely like the scent that they're getting and get a better picture of it. Because even myself, I'm like, oh, what can that scent be like? It's really difficult with scent notes. I'm also going to be trying to explain how easy the process is. So from buying online via Apple Pay or whatever easy payments systems I've got in place, I'm going to talk those through or show them through videos or stop motion, and then take people into showing them the packaging, so that it really gets across to people that the experience and the gift giving process, because that's so important this time of year. So you want to make it great for buyers, for gifts. So like Cosy Owl's products in terms of this would be like the making kits, they're brilliant for getting people started. So those sorts of things would be obviously a prime feature on if you were just, for customers, rather than to small businesses. Those would be your ideal like Christmas gifts basically. So it's imagining your products, putting them into like gift scenarios. Can you dial up the packaging? Can you add extra details? Without spending too much money up front. That is my biggest.
That's the one, isn't it? Yeah.
So I go on a whim. I redesigned all my labels for winter, and I thought, no, I'm going to wait till next year to do that, because my existing labels are fine. So it's just me. And actually, this point I get told quite a lot is it's not necessarily the product that is the issue, whereas I like to add more products, change products. It's just getting them out there to the right people, because when your customers do find them, they'll be coming back because they love your brand. But so it's not the issue with the product. Right. Anything else in terms of promotion? I would say just make sure wherever you're going, Christmas markets, you're collecting people's details, because if they don't buy things, then you need a pool of people that you can draw on at another point who remember your brand and have experienced it in person. So I would say capture people's details everywhere. If you've got software capabilities of having a website and having Pixel, linking it to Facebook and Instagram, that's really useful to make sure you can send little ads to people, and Facebook's quite good at walking you through stuff, and you can always watch YouTube tutorials and that kind of thing. But I'd say just make sure you're tracking, and the way of connecting people is in there, newsletter sign up forms, that kind of thing. What is my next tip? My problem with these lives is reading my notes half the time. That is
I'm slowly disappearing.
Yeah, it's getting darker and darker. I haven't had a light
sit by the window. It's light outside.
I haven't had a light on in so long, and then this live I was like, okay, you definitely need it now. Yeah, so not only if you're doing markets in person, but workshops are brilliant for connecting with people. It can be used as a gift as well, in terms of these people can just experience how to make candles from you, connect in person, and that I've started to see so many like wreath making workshops pop up now. I don't know if you see them. And
Another good one that you see a lot at the minute, I've started to see more of, is something like wax and wine.
Yeah, that's cool. I find I think, even though I've done workshops with you guys, I think from my personal experience, it's taking that leap, I think, to do so. I mean, I can probably facilitate online workshops better than I can in person, because I would need a lot of stoves and things like that. But there's a few practicalities that to think about, but people watching might have their own shops or retail spaces or venues that they can use. Okay, personalisation. If anyone has any questions at all, do drop them in the comments as well. I've really enjoyed seeing how people chatting amongst themselves. And it's brilliant to see that. So you might want to start dialing up your offering on your website about personalisation. So whether that means adding a gift message in, you could also marry this up with marketing as well. So you would perhaps show that on a video of how you would write a handwritten note or receive that gift note from one of your customers. You might want to do different labels, perhaps using a Cricut machine, or just if you've got a little label maker as well, you might want to personalize different things for people. Depends what your kind of business is about and what your Stacey, I'm sorry, you are really disappearing.
I'm just gonna look up at the ceiling and go put the light on.
Good idea.
I have to do it in my bedroom because I've got a little girl and a dog, so if I was to do it anywhere else, I'd just be hounded.
No, I get it. I completely get it. If anyone else in the comment who's watching has any feedback on how personalisation or any of these have worked for you in the past Christmases, let me know your experiences. That'll be really nice to see. Okay, so in terms, just linking back to the promotion and kind of showing the ease of the purchasing process, it's also really key in the run up to Christmas, and something I learned last year, to stay ahead of any strike action or anything going on with your delivery courier company. You want to make sure that obviously you've got the most reliable service that you can, but you want to be upfront about that with your customers. Yeah, I say that you can.
Yeah, we understand couriers all too well.
It's a super busy time for Royal Mail and other couriers, so keep an eye on their last delivery dates and just try and get ahead of that. So look it up early, make sure your customers are aware. So it might be really clear to you, or you might have said on Instagram or whatever channels you use a couple of times, but don't forget, people can come through to your website on any page based on, you know, a search, and they can come through any channel at any point. They've maybe not been following you from the beginning, you know, so it's not, you know, that common that they would be following you from the beginning. No one's going to know everything, and you only pay attention to your content as much as, you know, the most out of everyone, I would say. So it's not a problem to sort of repeat messaging, have some sort of key messages, I would say, for the Christmas season and your Christmas marketing. So mine are going to be around ease of process, upfront about delivery, upfront about all the materials that could go wrong. Like I use soy wax, so frosting is an issue in the cold months, so I'm going to be really clear about that. And I'm going to make sure that I am really clear about the gifting side of things, dialing up the packaging on my social media. I find it quite useful to do a theme for the month at the moment, so a bit more like a sort of bigger brand in terms of a campaign. So not just your conventional ones, but September, I did September reset, so everything was around resetting and refreshing and everything like that. I find it is a bit still back to school month, so I just did things around that. And then I think November time, I'm going to do a month about statement pieces. So whatever kind of themes like feed into your brand, I would say, talk about those like for a longer period of time, so that the message sticks, because there's a lot of noise and traffic and lots of things going on this time of year. Two things that these ideas that we just say are not my own. I've added in like little tidbits here and there that are bespoke, but all these ideas, should anyone like rewatch this live, I can't take credit for, they are Hayley's. I'm assuming Hayley's written the blog. It might not even be.
She has.
It's Hayley's blog. It's Hayley's blog on the Cosy Owl website. So there's quite a few things in there, and I've just kind of picked out the key ones that spoke to me, basically. So last couple of things around shipping and processing. So we've talked about keeping customers informed, making sure everything's as reliable as possible. But that also feeds into customer service, making sure you're just being great, like not making sure you're being grateful, but thanking customers and showing appreciation is like, it doesn't cost anything to do, basically. So it's just about building that community, and then people are more likely to come back to you if they've had a really pleasant experience. That being said, as probably you know all too well, you cannot please everyone.
No comment.
So having a clear returns policy on your website or on your channel or wherever is really important, and it's something you can stick to, and then it just means you're not getting drawn into any kind of emotional thing, because it is sad, it's emotional, it's your brand is part of you if something goes wrong. But having a returns policy is just something in black and white you can refer to without any problems. So, and you might want to also set up some admin around customer service as well. So we talked about like automating and planning at the beginning. You might want to think about automating messages. So when you contact Cosy Owl, for example, you get an autoresponder which says like, we'll be back with you very shortly, thanks for your message. You might want to add something like that if that's not already there on emails, social media, and encourage reviews. If you haven't got a follow-up email to any of your orders already as standard, then follow up with people, because people,
that's definitely a good one.
People nowadays rely on like peer-to-peer opinions and like support. They don't trust influencers anymore as much unless they're kind of small, engaged,
absolutely,
you know, all these opinions, so they want something that's authentic. So yeah, Joe blogs from down the road saying they like your candle will help you in the long run. So
yeah,
right, that is, I don't know how many that was, 10 different tips, I would say.
There we go.
So I just feel like I've gone like off on one, telling everyone my ideas and also all of it.
You've done fine, don't worry. I feel like I've just sat here and nodded whilst disappearing.
No, not at all. It's really good. I'm just seeing if there's, scrolling back to see if there's any more questions. Some people have just started making wax melts. There are guides.
See, the good thing, there's loads of guides on Cosy Owl, but the good thing about wax melts is you're really not limited in terms of glitter. And who doesn't love glitter at Christmas? So that is quite a good thing. Obviously, there's nothing prettier than in my opinion, a melt that's slowly disappearing into a puddle that's got mica powder in it, and just the way it shimmers, it's lovely.
It's beautiful. It's such a good product to add to your collection for this time of year, because it's a low investment. It's just wax and fragrance. You don't have to really worry about lengthy testing, because you're not trying to get a wax wick fragrance combo going on, which is the challenging bit. And what else am I saying? Yeah, it can be for a limited time only, so you know, it's really easy, and they're quite an affordable stocking filler as well for people.
Oh, definitely. And it's also a way to kind of boost your candle. So sell your candle with a matching scent melt.
That's brilliant.
It pairs it up, so it turns your candle gift into a package gift already for something that you would already have in stock. The only difference is obviously you'd need to get a wax that's got a pillar that's got a hardening agent in it. But absolutely, it's an easy way to accelerate your £5 candle to a £10 gift kit.
Yeah, absolutely. gift box with that. You've got a whole new product without actually having to invest anything else.
Absolutely.
So I think just have a look at, when you're doing your stock take and your initial planning, have a look at what you've got and what actually works well together to think about a Christmas collection, which is the next step. So I think actually Hayley's written this in a nice chronological order. So if you go through them all, that will take you up for Christmas. So you don't have to do everything right now, and don't worry about being behind. I've joked about being behind everyone else, but I think, you know, basically just focus on your own business. There's room for everyone else. Support each other, and that's why I've loved seeing the comments today from people supporting each other.
And I mean,
go follow one
if you feel you're behind this year, it just see that as a lesson for next year. You don't need to beat yourself up over anything at all. Just kind of make notes, see what works well for you and your audience, because you know your audience better than anybody else does. So just focus on that, and if it didn't work this year, try next year, but flip things up a bit.
Absolutely. I'm loving the feedback there. That's really kind. I hope this has been helpful and prompted you to think about other things as well. So that's good. We don't have all the answers, but we hope push people in the right direction, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, and give you a few ideas. That's fab. If you've got any more questions after this, I'm always on DM, but your best port of call is the Cosy Owl team via email or DM as well.
Yeah, or phone call. If you want to chat, just give us a call.
I never think about phones anymore, but yeah.
And if you're local, you can even pop in.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, I wish I was down there. Thank you so much for this evening. Thank you for bearing with everyone else for technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We got there in the
And apologies if anybody heard what my daughter shouted during one of the short lives.
I didn't, so I think you're safe.
Oh, thank God.
I think she's excused. Okay.
Yeah, she's 3.
That's fab. Thanks so much, Stacey.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.